We haven't seen inventory surges like this in over a decade in the Dallas-Fort Worth real estate market. Inventory levels have surged by 60%, and this is creating a massive illusion. You could walk into a beautiful home, overpay by $50,000 or more if you miss the 3 crucial secrets I'm about to reveal. Don't make a multi-$1,000 mistake. I want you to watch the whole video so you can protect your next real estate move. Something abnormal just happened in the Dallas real estate market. It's always been pretty hot, but right now we're seeing inventory levels explode to heights not seen since the late 2010s, even into 2012 and 2013. We've seen nearly 31,000 homes for sale. That's an astonishing 60% higher than normal. There are some huge market forces at play really causing this crazy shift. But if you don't understand them, then you could easily miss the perfect buying opportunity right now in front of you. Or worse, you could significantly overpay in a market just like this. So if you want to be prepared for what's truly happening in the Dallas and Fort Worth real estate market right now, let me break it down for you. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Shawn Bone, your local Dallas real estate expert and the #1 relocation team in Fort Worth, Texas. Having the privilege to work with buyers and sellers every day, my team and I are always in the know about what's going on in the market. And I'll tell you what's happening right now is unlike really anything I've seen in a really long time. Now make sure to stick with me until the end. I'm going to reveal some key strategies that you can take away right now. It's an advantage of this crazy market, especially with what we're successfully doing with our clients right now. So let's talk about inventory. Inventory surge and price drops. For years, buying a home in Dallas was like trying to grab the last TV at Best Buy during a Black Friday sale. If you blinked, houses were gone. Homes would hit the market and go under contract within hours, sometimes even within just a couple offers. So the pandemic created this really crazy situation where everyone was fighting over barely any homes, the low inventory, especially when so many high earners were trying to get out of the East and West Coast in certain areas. But something just happened recently. The number of homes in Dallas shot up almost 31,000. That is about 60% from what we normally see this time of year. That's pretty crazy. This is the most options buyers have had since 2011 or even 2012. And this is happening all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So even with all these homes on the market, prices have dipped a little bit, but they have absolutely not crashed. The median sales price in Dallas was $428,000 in August. That's about an 8% drop from last year, but homes that used to sell in about 6 days are now sitting for several months. So now what? So now we're also seeing around 3% below asking price on average. I mean, we're actually getting about $10,000 less than the listing price on average with our clients right now. That's a complete flip from the seller's market we've seen over the last 4 to 5 years. So why is inventory exploding? Of course, you've probably wondered what's behind the inventory explosion. Well, it's not really just one thing. It's a perfect storm of 3 big factors that are happening all at once. Sellers returning, sellers who have been waiting during all the interest rate craziness. They've been high for a couple of years. They're finally jumping back in. They've been watching rates go up and down, and many have simply, decided it's time to move really no matter what. So there's also a massive new construction push. There's been a wave of new construction in Dallas and Fort Worth. It's still leading the country with over 71,000 new housing units approved in 2024, and builders have been going crazy trying to keep up with the demand of our market. All of these homes are hitting the market right now. Wait until I show you the neighborhood by neighborhood breakdown in just a minute, because some areas are getting hit by way harder than others But even with all this new construction, buyers are still struggling with affordability. Buyers pulling back, interest rates having been high, buyers, even though interest rates have come down, they're less affordable, higher mortgage rates, plus Dallas's already high prices push some buyers completely out of the market. So the big question becomes, is this just a blip, or are we seeing a major shift in the Dallas housing market? To answer that, let's look at another huge change that's happening alongside the inventory surge. So record high seller concessions. If you thought inventory explosion was crazy, wait until you hear about this. Almost half of the Fort Worth and Dallas homes this year included seller concessions. We're talking about 49%, which is an all-time high, way above the national average of 44%. So what does that mean for you? In real life, it means that half of the sellers are sweetening the deal to get buyers to buy, and these aren't little token incentives either. The average concession is about $13,000. Our key takeaway on this is seller expectations are much higher than what the actual market will produce in sales environment. So if you're selling, don't get over ambitious on the price of your house and think it's 2021 or 2022 all over again. We see throughout Dallas, sellers are offering everything from mortgage rate buy downs, paid HOA fees, repair allowances, closing costs, and this is all to help the buyer. About 1 in 5 homes really cut their price in September alone. The next thing is builder incentives and new construction. This is a booming area of real estate. The new construction boom that's been building momentum for years is now absolutely flooding the market with inventory. Builders have been absolutely crushing it in Dallas, Fort Worth. As I said, with over 71,000 housing units approved last year alone in 2024, that beats Houston, New York, Phoenix, and Atlanta. Almost 2/3 of those were single family homes. With all these houses hitting the market, a few buyers qualifying at today's rates, builders are getting super aggressive with their incentives. I mean, they're getting really aggressive. We were at a new construction community this last weekend, and the builder's offering a 3-2-1 buy down, which means buyers can get rates as low as 3.99% in the first year of some FHA loans. That's ridiculously good right now. I've also seen permanent buy downs to 5% on homes around $550,000. Beyond the rate buy downs, builders are really throwing in all kinds of extras. Design center credits for flooring and appliances, smart home packages, you name it. I mean, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink. Some are just flat out cutting prices by $12,000 to $80,000 on homes from the 200s to 500, like $200,000 to $500,000 range. And builders they're not pumping the brakes. They're planning about 46,000 new home starts in 2025. That's the lowest since 2019, but it's still a massive amount of inventory that's going to hit the market. Lakewood, which is kind of the surprise, Lakewood's right around White Rock Lake, is up an insane 32% from last year, driven by the mix of historic homes, lake access. It's one of the few spots seeing that insane growth in an established neighborhood. In the suburbs like Rockwall County, inventory has jumped almost 6 months supply. Buyers now have options they simply didn't have within the last 2 years. And the other thing we're going to look at is economic shifts and mortgage interest rates. The Texas economy is still outperforming most of the country, but even that is cooling slightly, which directly impacts housing. Job growth is forecast at about 1.3% in 2025, adding roughly 180,000 jobs. While solid, it's below the state's long-term trend of 2% growth. The big factor affecting buyer purchasing power remains the historically high mortgage rates. And right now, current 30-year mortgage rates are still hanging around the low to mid sixes, like 6.3 to 6.5%. A buyer who could afford a $500,000 home at 3% might only qualify for $375,000 in with today's rates. and the same income and down payment. The good news is that home purchase applications are starting to pick up, suggesting buyers are adjusting to the new normal. And with more inventory and less competition, many buyers are finding ways to make it work through concessions, rate buydowns, and price negotiations. The 2025 housing forecast, some reports like ReVentures are forecasting a 7.8 or 8% drop over the next 12 months, saying the market is overvalued by 2022. Some reports like ReVentures are forecasting a 7.8% drop over the next 12 months, saying the market is overvalued by 22%. But I want you to be mindful of these types of reports, similar to the video I put out about Redfin. Actual MLS data, which we only have access to as licensed agents, says home prices in Dallas County are only down about 1.4% year over year. And then you have to look somewhere in like Prosper, Frisco, Southlake, or Westlake, which is actually up 2.6 year over year. Real estate is hyper local, especially in DFW. I don't see any massive crash happening in any Metroplex area within Dallas-Fort Worth. We've got massive growth, huge job opportunities. I think what we're seeing is temporary and somewhat seasonal. Here's the important part. The market shift is creating some really amazing opportunities for buyers who know how to navigate it with the right team. We're seeing a perfect storm that favors buyers with record inventory levels and nearly half of sellers offering concessions. That's a huge opportunity. Buyer strategies that work now, if you're looking to buy in today's Dallas market, these are the exact strategies that are working for our team right now. Target homes sitting long. These are the exact strategies that are working for us right now. Target homes sitting for a long period of time. Homes that have been sitting for 50 to 60, even 90 days. These are sellers usually the most motivated and open to deals. Look for price drops. They're a clear sign the seller is anxious and willing to negotiate. Number two, go after seller concessions hard. Our team has averaged 20,000 in concessions with all our clients this year. This should be asking for closing costs, rate buydowns, repair credits, and all that can be factored in. Check builder incentives. Builders are offering temporary buydowns that can get you rates below 4% in the very first year, which makes a huge difference on your monthly payment. Others are slashing prices by tens of thousands of dollars. Focus on high inventory areas. Luxury inventory segment over $1 million also has excess inventory you can take advantage of. Look at quick move-in homes as well. Builders are super motivated to move this finished inventory before the end of the year. We're seeing some of the most aggressive deals on these properties. Okay, final thoughts for buyers and sellers alike. The Dallas housing market has gone through a crazy shift. Inventory is exploding at levels we haven't seen since 2011, 2012, right? Seller concessions are hitting record highs. Prices are starting to cool after years of nonstop growth. If you're thinking about buying in the Dallas area, now is a really good time. You've got more options than you've seen in a couple of years, more negotiating power, and really less competition than we've seen in over a decade. If you're selling, understand that price is your number one marketing strategy. It is crucial to getting your home sold in today's environment. If you're planning to make the move to Dallas, my team and I would be absolutely thrilled to help you navigate this market. We know how to find the best deals in any market and negotiate the strongest offers in the environment we have today. All of our contact info is in the description below or on the screen. You can call, text, or email us anytime. We'll create a plan based on your specific situation. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.